This is the week of May 24th to the 28th. You should know who I am by now. I'm the Supreme B. I'm the veteran of Hosford Middle School. I'm the one who has ascended above a 4.3 GPA, not to mention my legendary straight A's. I'm the intellectual savior of unwashed masses. Cameron Perfección.
And I'm your former presidential candidate, forgotten student of Selby Wood Middle School, Ivy's Golf Club punching bag, mediocre musician, and amateur composer, Harry Rachmuth.
We're not here to spew some high school propaganda at you or advertise some peasant prom or our shitty football team. We're not under the restraints of the Cleveland administration. We don't work for the child labor class, somehow titled leadership.
Exactly. We stand in contrast to Cleveland's propagandists. We're here to bring the facts, not with some level of lies in between. Coincidentally, that's what I started to do before I silenced my presidential campaign and forced myself into early political retirement. Either way, these leadership students aren't bringing you the facts.
Speaking of these child labor victims, leadership students, I want to tell you a story. A story about a girl named Janie. Janie's primary caretaker was a grandmother, and she, unfortunately, didn't have too much longer to take care of Janie by the time she was a teenager. Therefore, her grandmother insisted on protecting Janie by forcing her to get married to a guy named Logan. As long as Janie was married, she was protected. Logan is a bully. He blatantly uses Janie as a tool to do his yard work, his sanitation, and cooking, and he even says it to Janie's face. Janie was a tool, nothing more. And so, she leaves Logan, divorces him, and then she meets Joe. Joe values Janie and treats her like a human being. He wants to move to a new city with you and shower you with grand promises of leadership and a legacy that will forever be remembered by this city that without them will be nothing. Of course, Janie follows through, so they move to this city and they ascend to power quickly, together. But at their inauguration, the people ask for a speech from this power couple. However, Joe says that a woman has no proper understanding of what's going on, and inherently a woman has no voice. Janie, despite her perplexity and frustration, remains silent.
As Joe continues to reign as the mayor, implementing the change this town needs, he never consults Janie for her opinion, nor allows her to socialize with the townspeople. She's a tool, again. However, this time, Janie stays. Janie wastes not only 18 years of her life, but the prime of her life, from around 20 years old to nearly 40, living in Joe's shadow. The painful death that Joe suffered was temporary, but his reign of power was legendary. He ascended to power of ease and thrived in it for the rest of his life. Janie was a tool Joe used to enhance his reign. It was blatantly obvious that Joe never cared about Janie, let alone loved her. Janie had no power over the city because Joe manipulated all of the authority over to him. Janie made it clear she isn't afraid to lose the protection of a marriage if it means not spending your life being a tool. She proved this by divorcing Logan when he was tooling her. So why didn't she leave Joe?
Very tough question, right? Well, I bet the leadership students can relate to Janie, can't they? Their leadership program was giving you grand promises of you, yes you, taking leadership and making Cleveland a better community. And what have you been doing?
Certainly haven't bring massive reformation of the education system. I'll tell you what, I didn't get to blast through my education initiatives because I didn't take Cleveland's so-called leadership propaganda class. So you can say I haven't been doing all that much. But at least I'm a spy and I'm trying to push through with change. At least I'm not some propagandist trying to promote this workaholic, homework machine-driven mindset. What do you think people in leadership have been doing, Cameron?
Child labor. Planning high school assemblies. Is that leadership, or is that the peasant work that the administration can't be bothered to do themselves? Setting up the sign in front of the building, depending on what the Cleveland administration wants to advertise. Wow, what leaders! Doing class-mandated volunteer work. Listen to that again. Mandated and volunteer in the same sentence. And it's true! Leadership is an administrative manipulation tactic to get dumbasses like you to do all their dirty work. Congratulations. You got outplayed. Some people contributed their time to sports. I contributed my time to dominating, and I mean dominating, the IB program. What did you do? Child labor. You got played. Have fun talking about that in college interviews. Well, that's a wrap for this week. I'm the Supreme IB. I'm the veteran of Hofstra Middle School. I'm the one who has ascended above a 4.3 GPA, not to mention my legendary straight A's. I'm the intellectual savior of the unwashed masses. Cameron Perfección.
And I'm your former presidential candidate, forgotten student of Selby Wood Middle School. IDs, golf club punching bag, mediocre musician, and amateur composer, Terry Rachmuth. And that was the Warrior Update.